All right, so we're gonna run through an associative skill development session. So I've got Kennedy with me. We're gonna start on the ground here, okay?
On the ground.
Flat on your back, please. Okay?
Love that.
Yep. You're gonna bring your knees up. There you go. You're gonna grab this wall right between your legs. Squeeze it tight with your knees. You're gonna put your hands flat on the floor. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna rotate side to side. So if I'm going right, this left knee is gonna make it just past my right hip. I'm gonna squeeze back to center, and I'm going the other direction, same thing. So this knee is gonna make it past this hip, and then squeeze back to center. I want you to do about 10 to 12 of these.
Okay.
Doesn't need to be fast, doesn't need to be slow.
Might take me a while.
That's okay, no big deal. So what we're trying to do is get some of this core to start working, and then we're getting some of the stabilizers for the hips, so your internal, external rotators to get fired up. We're also trying to get these obliques to work as well, because the skill that we're gonna go try to develop after we do another exercise involves more stability with the lower half and then syncing that up with the upper half.
What if my left hip is cramping?
Oh boy. Left hip is cramping. So as you rotate, it's cramping?
Yep.
Or when you get to end range, it's cramping?
In range.
Okay. So then what we would do is we would come back to center. You're actually gonna feel like you tuck just a little bit more.
Okay.
And then as you rotate over, feel that knee drive a little bit more to the top side of the hip. You should feel that more oblique, a little bit less hip, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm not counting, by the way.
That's okay. We're just gonna do one or two more and then we'll get moving. Good, so make sure as you rotate, we don't lose space.
Okay.
Yep, so there you go. Awesome. You should feel that upper part of your rib cage stay pinned to the ground.
Okay.
Perfect. Bring it down. Awesome. I'll take that. Now you're gonna actually go to your side, okay?
Which side?
Either one. We're gonna do both.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just do 5 or 6 reps, but if you're on your own, you're gonna do about 10 to 15 of these.
Okay.
Okay, so lay down flat. Arms and hands straight out. You're gonna use your top hand to pin your bottom hand down.
Okay.
Knees come up to 90 degrees. Okay. All I want you to try to do from here is rotate lower half off the ground. Okay. You will not make it very far when you do this. That's the whole point of this.
Okay.
Okay, so squeeze nice and tight.
Yep.
And then try to rotate that lower half off the ground. Perfect. And then
goodness.
bring it back down. Yep. Squeeze tight. Yep, there you go.
You're getting anywhere?
Yeah, you're actually probably getting higher than you think. Good, try to keep that squeeze tight as you come up. So pin them, there you go. That's about as far as you should make it.
Okay.
So if you feel like you get excessive movement, just we don't have enough stability. That's all. Good, hopefully tighter here. All right, now go from there.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Is that a core issue or?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. So we want to tuck and brace just a little bit more. Now try to move from there. There you go. Yep.
It's harder than it looks, y'all.
It is, yes. Good. Let's just do one more, then we'll go to the other side. Okay, good. Switch.
Yummy.
Yeah. Simple movement, simple concept, but it's hard to execute.
Maybe this side will be better.
Yep. So bring these knees a little higher. Yep, there you go. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Let's see if we get a little difference.
Not
on this
ready, but
side.
okay.
Okay. Squeeze them tight. Okay, so less range, so squeeze a little bit tighter. And then feel like you drive your knee, same thing, to the opposite side of your top hip.
Okay.
Like that, yes. So same thing here, a little more advanced version of getting some stability on the internal rotators and then just getting this oblique to fire instead of the hip to lift off.
Oh, man.
Yeah, difficult, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just picking my ankles up.
Yeah. That's money. Good, let's just do 2. Where you squeeze, there you go, good. That's what we're looking for, knees a little higher. It's very easy for the knees to drift down as you go. There you go, nice. Awesome, down.
Oof.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. More difficult than it looks. All right, then the last one in the series, and then we'll go hit a couple shots. You can go standing for this one.
Okay.
All right, all I want you to do is go just a little wider than what your stock stance would be. Put a lot of pressure down into your feet, so you should feel knee flex, hip drive, quads turn on. And then I want you to make a swift movement one way, swift movement the other way, with minimal to no hip rotation.
Okay.
Okay?
Think I can handle that.
Cool.
Is that wide enough?
Yep, that's
Okay.
perfect. Just outside of hip width or just under the knees.
Okay.
Either one's fine. Ready? Good. And I want you to feel even more pressure down as you rotate. Yes,
That
it's
strong
sticking to your mic.
magnet.
Yeah, the magnets are awesome.
There it is. Yep. Hold on, y'all. Let me hold it
here
a
we
little
go.
lower. Ready?
Yep. There you go. Good. Hard press as you go down. Either way. There we go. There you go. You should feel like there's no movement in the lower half. I'll show it to you afterwards. There is some movement.
There, I
That's
can
that's
see
okay.
it.
There you go. That's less than normal, which is what we're looking for. Specifically, we're looking at this because I had a client earlier in the week that I did this with, that giving him some more stability, lower half with the wedges, translated a lot more consistency as far as club path, face to path. And
It's hard for me to not.
Yeah. And then you'll work it up the bag. Where we go irons, we want a little bit more rotation, and driver going back and stabilizing his upper half instead of his lower half.
You mean go the other way?
Yeah, go the other way. Let's see what it looks like. Good.
Ooh.
Even more pressure. Both feet, not
Okay.
just left side. Yes, like that. There you go. There you go. Let's just do one or two more. Good. More. So more right side pressure. I know that's hard.
I know. I don't use my rib cage very well.
Yes. There you go. Perfect. All right. So I would say start low with this. 50 to 75% of what you think you normally rotate. Same feeling. Very stable lower half. Just rip the rib cage to finish.
Okay.
Exactly. Money.
You know me, I'm going to look at my
Oh yeah.
swing over there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. That's all good. Same deal. Yes. All right, so the second piece that we're going to work on here, we're using this accessory from What's That Strap. So I'm going to get set up in golf position, the golf posture. The center line of this strap is going to be at the mid part of my trail quad. And then what I'm going to do from here, I have my front foot flared just a little bit. I'm going to work pressure shift with the lower half while keeping the upper half stable. Okay. Now this isn't going to feel like your traditional pressure shift because this back foot's still going to have just a little bit of pressure on it because I can't really get up and turn out of this without getting into a strange posture. Okay. If you need to use a handle because you don't have this, it's perfectly fine. Your hands and the handle will just line up with your back quad. Okay. Feel like you're pushing from toe to heel as you do this. So again, with the strap, middle of it, middle of your trail quad, and you're just pushing from toe to heel. You'll notice you'll get a little more knee flexion with that lead side as you do that, okay? Then part two here, you can use either one of these. We'll go ahead and use this one since it's already attached. You're gonna make a small counter move, turn back, and then just chop back to center, okay? Counter move, chop back to center. Counter move, chop back to center, okay? We're really accentuating getting the lats and shoulder blades, so lats kicked on, shoulder blades stable, and then turning back to center, so we use our trunk to turn back to center, but we also have the pressure shift forward that creates a little bit of stretch as we drive to center. So now let's go look at the club skill. So for our skill drills here, okay, we've got two things we're gonna do. First one is we're gonna rotate and load this hip up. I'm gonna hold it for a second, and then I'm just gonna release it, okay? So first one is just gonna set up, get settled, Load the hip. And then release. Wherever it may go is wherever it may go. That's pretty neutral, slightly open face, not a big deal. Be pretty happy with that. But again, this is just a drill. You want to see some outputs, just so you know. Same thing. So we're going to get set. Rotate into the hip, wait until it's loaded, and then just release it. You're not going to hit all of them good. It's perfectly fine. So again, get set up, load into the hip, and release it. Okay, that's the first drill. Second drill. We're gonna work hip load, slight pause, and then we're gonna work on that toe to heel push, okay? We do not snap the leg out of the way, okay? We create pressure and push, okay? So we're focusing a little bit more on what we got loaded, now we're gonna push. Okay, left. This is where you can start to make a little bit of adjustments, because obviously we don't want to hit snap hooks. That was not great. So I know I'm getting that way. We want to be here, and we want to create a little bit of separation. That's all we're trying to do. So probably a little too aggressive for me, especially at 8:30 in the morning on a Monday. That was a little softer. That worked a little bit better. Screen will come back on here in a second. You'll see that was a good shot. Good. Same thing. Get set back up. So we know we got to be a little less aggressive with this push off. Now I can feel that separation, and for me it feels like a stretch across my abdominals on the front, and there's a little bit of push off back in the hip. That's pretty good. 7-iron about 190. All right, so for this, what we're doing is we're getting a deep hip load, okay? I'm turning and I'm hinged over, so I feel this in my hip, my quad, and down in my foot. And then from here, I'm gonna get this moving first, and then I'm gonna drive and finish, okay? Now what you wanna do is you wanna pick a line straight in front of you, and then about 4 to 5 feet to the right, imagine another line. You're gonna get your body to move down this line. Sorry, you're gonna get your hips and lower half to move down this line. Your trunk is gonna end up at that line, but the ball is gonna get pushed to the other line, okay? So I'm loaded. You're gonna notice that moves on a diagonal, okay? Obviously I want you to do this explosively. I'm doing this inside, so I don't have as far to throw, okay? So everything is turned. Boom, you're letting it unwind and drive it. Be aggressive with the drive. Rib cage and shoulder to that line. So I'm deep loaded. Notice I'm going trunk, hip, okay? Trunk, hip, boom. Okay, let's work the skill from here, because this is with driver. All right, so we're trying to work that same skill here, okay? Which is gonna be trunk load, hip set. This works down. Club works about 2 to 3 feet to the right. okay? That's just the feel that we're working on. So set driver, however you want to. Remember, we're getting loaded into this hip. So this is, again, toe to heel push. Feeling like the club head is working that way, but your body is working down the line straight in front of you.